What is going on, everybody, and welcome to part 8 of the Raspberry Pi tutorial video series. In this tutorial, what we're going to be doing is building a garage stoplight, putting together kind of everything that we've learned up to this point. The idea of a garage stoplight is to show a green light when you've got plenty of room to pull your car forward in the garage, and then turn yellow as you approach kind of the fully forward position, and then red when you should stop. We're going to build this with a Raspberry Pi, and then we're just going to use some distances. We're not actually going to use a real car, of course, but you could if you wanted, I suppose. So, first of all, I've already made all the connections. We've already done this once before. We did just an LED light. We did just the distance sensor. Now we're just combining everything. But should you want a diagram, I've made one for you. It's beautiful. There it is. There it is. Not a professional wiring diagram, but it's easy enough, I think, to read. So basically everything you need should be here. Double check my work, compare it against the actual, Broadcom names diagram and all that. Make sure I've done everything right. Actually, as I was going through the written version of this tutorial, I caught an error with one of the ground pins, so can make a mistake, so double check my work. Okay, so this is the diagram that we're basically going to be using here. At the end of the day, make sure your grounds are correct, make sure your power is correct. And then do note that, for example, the trigger for the distance sensor is GPIO 4. The echo is GPIO 18. The green light is 17. Yellow light is 27. And the red light is 22. And then the grounds are in the various ground positions. Again, though, make sure you actually put it in a ground. So anyway, moving along. What we're going to do to go from here is we're just going to go ahead and just copy this and then paste it. And then we're going to just rename it to garagelight.py. Hopefully that worked. Yep, there it is. A little slow on the remote desktop. I'm doing this because we're going to kind of make some changes to this file that I really don't know how to do in the editors. Someone's going to make fun of me for nano, for sure. But I didn't know how to do a block indent, so yeah, too bad. So anyway, so what we're going to do first is kind of modify this script slightly, because basically what we want to do is actually have a while loop that's just constantly checking for distances, and then depending on whatever that distance is, adjust the lighting accordingly. So the first thing that we're going to do is at the top of this script, what we're going to do is set warnings to false. GPIO.set warnings to false. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we are going to say GPIO.cleanup. Now the reason why we're doing that is because this is going to be in a while true loop, so we're going to break the loop eventually. And that's not going, so the pins will never get fully cleaned up. So we're just going to call cleanup right away at the beginning of the script. We do want the set mode to be GPIO.BCM. That's the same. Trigger, echo, all the same. And then starting basically at this line here, where we actually output some information, that's going to be the beginning of the def get distance function. And then basically that is going to be the case all the way. We're going to remove this cleanup because you don't want to be cleaning up at every time, because then if we clean up at the end of this loop every time, we won't have the pin setups. Now, in theory, you could actually reset up everything and clear it every loop, but I'm not really seeing why that would be a great idea. So we're just going to tab that all over. We could print the distance. I'm kind of torn whether or not that's a good idea, but I guess we could print it out here. That's fine. And then when we're done, though, let's return distance. Now, we're going to come down here, and then we could just do while true. We'll just say distance equals get distance. And then let's do a time.sleep 0.05. That should be more than enough time to sleep, but also give us plenty of output from the sensor. Now what we need to do is set up for the actual colored pins. So depending on what the distance is, we want to illuminate one of the lights, but not all of the lights. We could illuminate all the lights if we wanted, but we really just want to do one at a time right now. So coming up to the top of the script, we might do something like this. Like we could say the green light is equal to, and if I recall that was pin 17. Let's go check though and make sure. Right, so 4 was for the distance sensor, 17 is our green light, 27 would be the yellow, and 22 will be the red. So, green is 17, and then we'll come down here, and then we could say define green light, and then we could do something like GPIO.output green, and then GPIO.high, right? We could do something like that. Also, let's go ahead and set up that GPIO. I don't want to forget that. So GPIO.setup green, and green is a GPIO.out. Okay, almost forgot to do that part. Anyway, we could do that, and then we could do that for each of the lights, right? Just output that color. The problem is that light would never turn off. So what we want to do is for each of the lights, we're going to say that one light is on, but then the other lights are off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and add in all the other colors for the lights. So we're going to have green, yellow, and red. So we'll come up here, green, yellow equals, and yellow was 27, red was 22. And then we're going to set up the colors here. So I'm just going to copy that line, paste, paste, green, yellow, and red. And then what we're going to say down here for green light is copy this, paste, paste, and rather than high, they're going to be low, the other ones. And then this would be yellow, red, and then we can take this function, copy, paste, paste. So we've got all the lights now. So green light, well, we don't have them, but we're about to. Green light, yellow light, red light. So yellow light, this would be low, yellow would be high, and then red would be low. Red light would be green, would be low, but red would be high. Okay, then once we have that, now all we need to do is handle our logic down here in this while loop. So while true, we're grabbing the distance, but now what we also want to do is get, let's do here, and then what we're going to say is basically if the distance is, let's just do greater than or equal to, I'm trying to think because I've got this little box in front, and then I'm hoping to just be able to move the box for the illustrations. Anyway, I'm going to use 9. So if the distance is greater than or equal to 9, green light. We got plenty of space, we're good to go. Then we're going to say if 9 is greater than distance, but yet distance is greater than 6, we're going to say yellow light. And then if distance is less than or equal to 6, red light. Okay, I think we're ready to run that. So let's go ahead and save that. I'm not sure if I want to run this in the remote desktop because it's just so laggy. Like, look how long this is taking to like move stuff. I guess we'll try, and if this lags for whatever reason, I will just we'll load up in the shell. So F5 to run. Oh, we got invalid syntax. What do we got going on? Oh, this is so gross. Oh, we forgot our colons on the functions? What a noob. Okay, we'll add those in. Fine, fine, fine. But seriously, Python, do we really need those colons? I mean, come on. We're all about white space, I thought. Try again. Oh my lord. Okay, is it possibly a underscore? Did I forget the underscore maybe? Set. Oh no, I forgot the N. Warnings equals false. Alright, let's try again. Alright, so we got the distances being printed out. Okay, so right now the light is red. And in fact, I think I can make this bigger. Alright, so far enough back, the light is all green. We're good to go. Everything's happy. And then, yeah, we move the box forward. Yellow light. and you can see the distances below. And then finally we get close enough, and boom, it's a red light. All right, pretty cool. So that's just a really quick example of kind of tying a few of these things together using some very basic sensors like the distance sensor, well, basic sensor like the distance sensor, and then just tying it with some LED lights. Anyway, that's it. Questions, comments, leave them below. Otherwise, I will see you in another tutorial.